So to get your tachometer working, what we use is I have a sensor mount that this bolts to pretty much the lower alternator, and you use the factory sensor bolts here. And then I have this balancer that you put on that I had the Mazda trigger wheel machined into the balancer. So that's where you could, so basically the sensor just sits there. Well, it's actually, well, it don't matter. The sensor is sitting there against it, reading the tone wheel. It doesn't matter the orientation of how the balancer is installed on the engine, because all it's doing is reading the engine speed. It's not controlling timing or fuel, so you don't have to worry about that. And the sensor is wired straight to the computer, the same as it was originally to the car. And then as far as the speedometer goes, you're going to use the ABS. For the factory ABS is where the speed signal comes from, and it goes to the instrument cluster using the CAN bus. So there's not really any way of doing it other than using a CAN bus module, or you have to we just leave it alone. So because one of the reasons why I don't get rid of the ABS is because I did a 60 to 0 stop test, and the difference between with and without ABS was around 30 feet, which is a really big deal when you're talking about stopping. So it didn't seem worth it to me at all. So that's why I wouldn't pull it off. And then it also makes the speedometer, tripometer, and odometer all working. So, and the coolant temperature sensor, you're doing the same thing, OEM wiring. And we use the factory RX8 temperature sensor. It goes in the passenger rear head, opposite of the GM sensor, because the cylinder heads on an LS are identical. So you can just pull the Allen plug out of the passenger rear of the head and screw in the factory Mazda coolant temperature sensor in it.